Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that we have some kids and teens watching. Come on in, let us know, and possibly maybe some teachers, grandparents. I invited you all. Today is all about you and getting some tools and strategies to help with anxiety and really just creating an easier life and learning how to deal with the pressures that kids today and teens today deal with. So come on in, let us know where you're from, if you have a child watching or a teen watching with you. Let us know so we can address. You can just put yes, you have someone with you, maybe their age. No teen or child needs to be on camera today. I want to reassure you that. It is the structure today is going to be really, giving you a lot of information and tools, and then also giving you guys an opportunity to ask questions. And you can either ask questions live without the camera, or you can just ask in the chat. It's a real casual, just hanging out. Kind of a afternoon. We're going to be together for about an hour. We'll see how many, people are on, but welcome. Come on in. Okay, let me just see who's coming. Hi, Jane. Hi, Tina. Oh, hi, Alan. Hi, Stacy. Okay, you've got people. Hi, Nicole. Oh, you have Kevin, who's 3. Very good. Welcome, Kevin. Hi, Phoebe, who's 5, and Freddie and Max. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, my name is Danielle Schwartz. I am coming to you from Pennsylvania, and I am what is called a medium. A medium is someone who actually connects with spirit, which means that if you've had a grandparent who, went to heaven or passed, I can actually see them, I can feel them, and I can hear them. And today I want to give you all some tools on what you can do, because I can tell from here, and I have teens and kids on here. I can tell that I have a very, very, what I'm going to refer to as an empathic group. What's empath? An empath is someone who feels however everyone around you feels. So for those kids and teens that are watching, I am sure if your parents are upset, even if they don't say anything and you say, what's wrong? It's because you feel that. If you are a teen who's watching, you may really, really struggle when you're in school and feeling those around you that are, I'm going to use the word inauthentic, which means that there's this challenge of, where they're trying to be nice to you, but you know that they're not being nice because you feel that they're not being real with you. So today is all, tools and strategies to help you deal with that kind of energy, what you do when you are feeling either discomfort, and what you do, to help yourself make things easier. You are all in a unique time right now where we're dealing with COVID. So, those of you who are really very, very sensitive, you're feeling maybe your parents' anxiety, you're feeling society's anxiety. So there's so much that's coming around you. And today, it really is all about you and giving you those strategies and understanding and awareness so that you can take this, I'm going to call it a program, and really, really incorporate it into your own life and make some things better. So because we've got varying ages, I'm going to give you guys, the information, and parents for the younger ones, I'll leave it to you to interpret, on the lower, the younger level. And if you have questions, again, please, if you're noticing your young, children, or teens that are really, really struggling, put it in the chat and say what it is that you really, really, are struggling with. And what I mean by that. So when we come into this world, today is all about helping you deal with anxiety and sensitivity. Okay. Anxiety is a learned behavior. You're not born with it. It's pretty interesting to think about, right? So we are not born with anxiety. We are not born with worry. We are not born with fear. Okay. Those are all emotions that we as human beings learn either from those around us or from our situation when, okay, we disconnect, meaning we separate somehow from who we truly are. And it's what I want to impress upon you guys today is, that sensitivity that maybe sometimes, stops you in your tracks and makes it so hard for you to either socialize or feel comfortable in your surrounding or deal with what it is that you're feeling and seeing, and understanding that is truly a gift that you can utilize to make your life easier. Okay. So what I want to do is go back to the beginning of, when you first came into this world. And for those of you that are, younger, you know, if you look at your young kids, I would say most often they're probably not really anxious. They're not really worried. That's not something that they necessarily struggle with. It's as time goes on that we learn those behaviors. And it's just, changing the channel, learning how to, tune into a different station. Have you ever watched a movie, either with your kids or as yourself, and say, that it's, something that you really don't like, or maybe it's just either not appropriate? Well, what if you were forced to have to sit there and watch that station every day for the rest of your entire life? Well, that is similar to what it's like for kids and teens, and actually adults too. Parents and grandparents that are watching, I am sure you can relate very much to this. It's when you get a thought, okay, that makes you worried, or when you have a process that really, really causes a lot of anxiety. I know I'm seeing that I have questions and I'll get to them. But when you have that thought, it's hard to get off what I call the wheel. A hamster who runs and runs and runs and runs. Well, that's what our thoughts are. And our thoughts actually create real, things. So, this is stone and it's crystal and it's real. I can touch it, right? Well, your thoughts actually, when we replay them, what happens is we begin to believe them. And that's what I call a belief structure. Okay. It's a belief that becomes real for you. If you have, different kinds of fears, maybe you're afraid of bees, or maybe you're afraid of heights, or different things like that, that is something that is for you a real danger. Well, the same is true when it comes to either socializing, anxious, things about maybe not, being good enough, or being not performing well in school, or not knowing what direction you're supposed to go. Those fears are very, very real for us. And what I want to share with you today is really, really exciting, because it will help you, learn how to develop different strategies so that you can draw to you different experiences. So I want to just share with you that we are, meaning we all human beings, all kids, teens, all of us watching together, we are magnets. Okay. So you know what a magnet is? It's something that, has this force that pulls it, and attracts, together. So if you can imagine that your thoughts are a magnet, and if your thoughts are continually focused on, oh my gosh, what grade am I going to get? Or I'm not good enough for this team. Or what if the kids don't like me? Or what if I don't have anyone to sit with? Or what if my mom gets upset over, this grade? Or what if I don't, make it, in society, or whatever it is that your worry is. Okay. When you put that out, the only thing that you can attract to you is more worry. So you will attract to you situations that will help you learn a new way. So if you look at your life, okay, if you look at your life, and if you look at your kids' life, if they are constantly surrounded by anxiety in situations that make them anxious, as a parent, and even as a teen or a young adult, you don't know how to get out of that spinning, that cycle. You don't know how to get out of it. So today we're going to learn how to do that. Today we're going to learn how to get out of that cycle and to break that so that you can draw different experiences to you. Okay. The important thing to remember when we do this today is that this takes practice. Okay. You were not born learning whatever language it is that you know. You weren't born knowing how to use language. You were born knowing how to communicate. All right. You weren't born knowing math. It's something that took practice, right? This is going to take practice. So I'm going to give you some tools and strategies, and I'm going to ask you guys to share. And then we're going to, as a community, we're going to check in and we're going to see how everyone's doing. And actually, my guides are telling me that what we'll do is, for everyone that is watching today, I am going to create a new Facebook group, or Michael is. We're going to create a new Facebook group where we can share tips and strategies as parents, teens, educators. It will be a private group. You will only be invited based on your participation today. So you'll have to reach out to me and say that you want to join that group. And what we'll do is, you'll check in and say, okay, today, I felt like this, but I've incorporated these strategies, and share how it is that you're feeling. And let's all join together and be supportive with one another. And let's help our kids, help our teens, and really, really develop a program and a technique that really, really helps. And be honest in that group, and let us know if it's not working or if you need more assistance in different things. It'll be a good forum for you guys to reach out to Michael, and we'll sign you up for this group. And, I can reassure you that nothing will be shared. This is personal to me. And then we'll get to your questions. It's personal to me for a couple of reasons. I had a really tough time in my teens. Really, really tough time. My parents went through a pretty rough divorce. I was very, very sensitive. I still am. And as a result, that magnet, okay, not feeling good enough based on my parents' divorce and everything like that, I drew to me individuals that were not for my highest good, individuals that were really bad news. I really did. Went on a path that was, just very, very self-destructive. So if you can understand that and relate, I can sit here and tell you today that I found my way out by connecting to my spirit. I know that seems really, really random and like, what the heck is she talking about, connecting to her spirit, especially those of you that are young. But, what I did was I learned how to change my own belief about myself. That is huge. It's huge. Changing your own belief about yourself is so incredibly big, because our belief about ourselves is based on things that are not real. Who said, okay, think about this, that that a grade should make you feel good or not good? Who is it that defined that? So here we are believing these things, effort and what it is that you learn should be how you feel good about yourself, and how it is that you treat yourself and one another should be defined as far as your worth. And here's the cool thing. Do you know that when you do pass, God forbid, when you do eventually pass, in spirit, you are all perfect. When you come here on earth, you have that perfection within you. So every action that you do, think of earth as like a big classroom. You're here to learn. You're here to mess up. Absolutely. That's what we're meant to do. So please know that those, what you're viewing as mistakes, you should be excited and be like, okay, you know what? Now I know next time I'll do things differently. Next time I'll do it differently. I want to talk because I'm hearing, and I don't know if this was a question, but I'm hearing that, impressions of others are really, really challenging for your kids and teens to deal with. Okay. And was that one of the questions, Michael? No? Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about this, and then I'm going to get to questions. So, especially when we're in, as a young individual, what can you do when maybe you look different, or you feel like you don't fit in, or, you just haven't found your people? What can you do to feel, better when you go out into that situation? So what I want to share with you is that, again, remember what we talked about, that being positive takes practice. Okay. Anxiety and worry is actually what has become our normal state. That's your state of normal. When you're feeling good, you're going to be searching for something to worry about. So pay attention. Maybe take a note and see, how long has it been? How many times a day did I worry today? What did I worry about? And then see how many times you gave yourself a compliment. See how many times you were aware of that. So remember that, like a scale, one of those scales or a seesaw. Okay. We want to tip that scale where this here is our good thoughts about us. And then when we do that, and then this is our worry. All right. And this is our anxiety. When we do that, when we can practice into thinking about good thoughts, you draw more good things to you, which means you're drawing confidence, which means when you walk into the school, you're going to attract different individuals, people that understand you. It just will naturally happen. Okay, so let's get to some questions today, and then I'll give you some more tips and strategies, and let's get started. Okay, all right. So my daughter is 95% of the time okay.
She's a teenager.
Okay. But she has random bouts of sobbing. But when I ask her what's wrong or why she's crying, she doesn't know. Perfect. I understand that. Unfortunately, she's at work right now, so she's not watching. She's gone to therapy, but it's difficult to help her when she doesn't even know why she's sad. So I tried to try to get her to meditate, but I'll take any advice you have. So Amy, I completely understand that. Your daughter's not alone. There are adults who, feel that they're, disconnected and out of balance and really don't have any awareness on what it is that's bothering them. So, I guarantee you that those of you, and I'm going to lump you all, those of you that are watching today, again, are what I refer to as empaths. That includes your daughter, Amy. And an empath is someone that feels everything around them. And especially if your daughter is going out and about, and as an empath, when you are out and about and you're feeling everyone's anxiety, it's crippling. It is crippling. So what I can share with you, and you can all incorporate this, and this is something that I myself do. So I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have seen The Wizard of Oz. And Glinda, when Glinda, the good witch, comes down to Oz, and she's in that pink bubble, right? So Amy, and for anyone else that has a child or teen that struggles with either not knowing what it is that is troubling them, or finding it hard when they go out into public, into school or work, whatever, even adults, please, that take this tool. It really, really works. So do this as we're talking. Okay. I want you to ask for a guide. So you would, instruct your daughter, instruct your kids. You know what? We have great Grammy that's in spirit, or, anyone that they feel comfortable with, that they can identify with, an angel, God, anyone that they can really, really clearly see with their imagination, so that they would connect with that individual. And you're going to say, we're going to ask them to come closer to you. And I want you to imagine, and I do this with my own kids, and I walk them through it. I imagine them drawing a beautiful bubble around you. So I'm doing this right now, even as we're speaking right now. And what that does is it cements my own positive energy. It creates the shield. And having a shield where you feel that you are just locked in, okay, to your own, beautiful vibration, and protected and surrounded by love. It's a bubble of love that really, really gives those sensitive individuals a tool and a strategy when they are going out to stay locked in. Okay. That's the one thing. I really do feel like she's challenged when she goes out and about. The other thing that I would recommend, as far as, learning how to understand what it is that she's feeling, it's going to be important to check in prior to, because when you're in a state of such high emotions, you can't lock into what it is that's wrong. All that she can lock into is that she's feeling sad. Okay. And as a sensitive individual, I can share with you that I too experienced many bouts of that sadness. And I feel that her learning how to, create this shield for herself is going to say, okay, wait, you know what? I'm feeling a little comfortable. And you can just say shield up or bubble on, once she creates that, and that'll be, yep, do that. Well, I would have her do this prior to having a moment. Okay. Because when she's having a moment, all right, the important thing is for her, to release it. Okay. So, teens and kids know that emotion is supposed to be released. Think about it. As adults, we tend to say, oh, stop. Okay. So she needs that release. But as a parent, we're looking at her and we're looking at her suffering and we're like, oh gosh, I want to stop that. I want to stop your suffering. I want to stop your suffering. But it really is her spirit's way of honoring what it is that she needs to let go of. So I would honor, you know what? I'm really, really, really impressed that you're able to release that emotion. And I just want you to know that I'm here for you. Now, what you can do as a mom is call upon Archangel Raphael. We all have archangels. We all do. So call upon Archangel Raphael and ask him to just surround her with healing so that she can release it. So I would imagine, the emotion just leaving her. And that is something, but I would switch the view on how you're witnessing her, the helplessness that you're feeling and view it with pride. That she's in touch with her emotion, even though she's not able to articulate it. At least she's having the courage to release it, because when she gets older, that's going to really serve her. Okay. The other thing that I feel that is really, really important for her, I do see that she's either working, in close proximities with individuals, either like, as some type of a server or something along those lines. And again, I don't see her like working on her own. I see her working out and about like in society. Again, I feel like that's something that is challenging for her as an empath. And when you sign up for that group, I'll share some books that have been helpful as well. There's one by Judith. I forget the name, but it's called the Empath Survival Guide. That's a good one for her to read. And again, reach out to us and I'll let you know what that is, or I'll just post it once we create that group. Okay. All right. So I hope that works. Okay. So Angelina and Amy, keep me posted. Angelina, how can I respond when my 11-year-old son says that grandma was talking to him other than she is watching him? So Angelina, when kids and teens sense spirit, sometimes for them it is unnerving and sometimes for us it is as well. The important thing and why I myself shut this gift down is because, I didn't have anyone that I could speak to. I'm really, really proud of your son that he is, coming to you and sharing that information with you. I would be excited. First and foremost, you should, anyone that is having their children experience spirit, you're going to want to have a chat with Archangel Michael. Again, we're going to be utilizing angel energy today. So Angelina, you could just say, Archangel Michael, I ask you to surround my space and my child with only light and love. I ask that he only receives beautiful messages from, family that we trust. Okay. And, once you do that, if you do that every day, first of all, his communication with spirit should be really, really lovely and beautiful. It doesn't say whether or not he's frightened, by seeing, his grandmom. So if you could respond to that, because that would be a whole other different, thing on my end. But if he's, receiving it well, I would just say, what did she say to you? And isn't that beautiful that she's watching over you and you have your own personal guardian angel? And, I also, and I mean this, I bet you grandma will help you with tests in school, that kind of thing, or help you not feel nervous. How empowering is it for our kids? Think about it. if your kids truly know, and if Amy's daughter truly knew that she had the ability and that your son has the ability to communicate with spirit, so in any situation where they are feeling uncomfortable, that they have a protector with them. Wouldn't that be great if you just knew that? If in any situation you went into, you knew that you had a loved one or a guardian angel or both, that you could say, okay, guys, you know what? I'm really not feeling this situation. Can you just put that bubble around me? Can you just surround me with that energy? And can you just, help me, do my best or lock in or whatever it is? There would be no such thing as anxiety. There would be no such thing as depression. It would not exist because we would always be linked into who we truly are. Okay, so I hope that helps, Angelina. My son is having behavior issues since we lost his father in November. Are the issues due to grieving, or is it autism or some other problem? Okay, Nicole. So I do feel like your son is on the younger end. Is it? Let me just link in.
I'm having some problems with. I'm gonna read.
Okay, guys, just one sec. Apparently, there's some. Am I live still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So apparently there was some technical issues. So I'm so sorry about that, but we rebooted. So hopefully that's, something that we can address. So my son is having behavior issues. I do not feel it is autism, but developmental. Yes. I do feel like there's some developmental issues.
It's not better.
It's not better? Frozen? Oh.
It's freezing.
Huh. That's weird, right?
Still frozen.
Huh.
I'm going to try again.
Okay, yeah, we're going to try it. Post it.
Okay.
Is it better? Seems okay now? Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Let us know. Okay. All right. So, Nicole, I don't feel that this has anything. Great. Thank you, Virginia. I don't feel like this has anything to do with autism. I do feel like this is grieving. So, as a mom, I do feel like there may be potentially some developmental things that come up down the road. But you know what? I can, and of course, I want to make it clear, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. If there is anything that you are worried about, early intervention, and I can speak for personal experience, is really important. So if you have any concern, mom intuition is always something that you should listen to. Our son was on the spectrum, so I really do understand that fear and that concern. So that's something that I really do relate to. So, but the grief is something that I do feel like he needs some. Nicole, how old is your son, hon? If you could let us know, because that would be something that would be helpful for me as far as giving you some strategies. But the first thing that I would do, I do feel like he is very, very sensory. So having something sensory that he can hold on to is something that's going to be important. So I don't know if you've given him clothes, but that's something that is, important, giving him the clothes to hold on to. I also do feel like he needs some power and knowing that his father is watching out for him. So that's something that is important. I think that will really help him knowing that he gets signs and information from his dad, when he's having these issues. And you know what? Validating his feelings and saying, I know how angry you are. I'm angry too. I do feel like, he is really, really wrestling with the awareness of, how young his father was when he passed, and, not having that, connection anymore is something that is really, really challenging, and that causes a lot of anger. And again, as adults, we're able to articulate that. We're able to articulate that anger. But, as kids, we're not able to articulate it. So that's going to come out as behavior issues. That doesn't mean that you should placate him, but it means that you should try to get him to communicate and talk. I think that one of the things that's coming up is an expression, him being able to express that anger, whether that is a room that he can, throw things, whether that is painting that he could, explore, that kind of thing. But I don't feel like he feels that he's able to express the true nature of his anger, possibly because the limitations of his communication. So I hope that helps, and please keep us posted on how he's doing. Okay. My daughter has anxiety so badly that she has seizures. How can I get her to calm down and keep her to learn to talk more? So Angela, again, it would be helpful if I knew how old your daughter is. One of the challenges, so if she is a teen, one of the challenges is, giving people information on, giving parents information on how to help our teens or kids when they're not listening, right? And if you think about it, we are disconnected. So that's the challenge. Right now, your daughter has disconnected from her true self. It's still freezing? Cutting out again.
Seems like I've gone up and back.
Oh, okay. Frozen again, huh? Okay. I don't know what to do. Unfroze
She's
here,
12.
but no sound. She's 12. Okay, Angela. Okay. I'll keep going, and I'm wondering if the feed is going to be a challenge as well. It can't be on everybody. It's okay here. So I'm wondering if it's could it be, people's Wi-Fi?
No.
Too many people? Okay. Should I just keep going? You want to try to reboot it? What do you want to do?
It's not frozen tire set. All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'm going to keep going. All right. So here's what I would recommend. All right. So first of all, see, 12 is tricky, especially with a girl, because she's not going to listen. So choices are going to be really, really helpful and important for her. Choices are going to be important. So understanding how to give them those choices. So, you can start on your own end and share that, this is something that I really understand. I really understand how frustrated and upset you are and that you're not able to express. Oh, yes. Thank you. Okay. Angela, and anyone else that's having trouble getting through to their kids, don't talk to them with your words. Talk to them telepathically. Talk to them with your soul. Okay. So what I want you to do is, either whether you pray or whether you, are a spiritual individual, whatever that is, I'm telling you that this is something that is very, very easy to do. It's not going to sound so easy, but I'm telling you it's easy and it will work. So find a place to sit quiet, take some deep breaths, and, just request whatever it is that you believe. Angels, gods, higher energies, really doesn't much matter. You're going to just request a higher vibration to come and sit with you. And when you do that, you're going to say, I ask to be connected to my own personal higher self or my own soul. And as if you're like putting your soul in a bubble, or a balloon, send yourself to your daughter's higher self. Okay. And you're going to see her happy. I want you to imagine her happy. Remember the last time that she was happy, and you're going to really, really hold that energy for a really long time. Okay. Do this for a few minutes every day. And then check in with me and let me know if you're noticing any difference, because when we worry about our kids, remember that magnet I talked to you about in the beginning, when we worry about our kids, that sends out a frequency that they receive. Oh my gosh, they trust our impression of them. Think about that. Think about the power that we as parents and educators and grandparents have. If we could train ourselves to project an image to our kids that they're okay, that they know enough, that we've prepared them, that this journey, this experience. I had seizures, Angela, and I can tell you that those seizures set me on a path of self-discovery for me. So maybe your daughter is is part of a greater purpose, and this challenge is going to help her get in touch with who she truly is. As a mom, it's the hardest thing to watch our kids suffer, and we want to take it away from them immediately. We don't want them to go through this. So get in the practice of reminding yourself that she is in touch with a higher source, whether she's aware of it or not, it's there. And if she can't reach it for her, meaning communicate with the angels and communicate with her soul and keep holding the image of her being okay in your awareness. That's going to give her something to grab onto that's a higher vibration. I hope that makes sense. Okay. 18 is hard for a boy. Okay. Mine thinks he knows best. Yes. Yes, I'm in that moment right now with our 17-year-old. So yes, I understand. And what I do is remind myself that he, does know best. And I do everything that I can to communicate to his higher self, because again, as teens, it sometimes, is really, really, really challenging to communicate rational information. And what's really interesting? Okay. Think about it. Why would our kids, or why do we want a struggle? When, think about, us, think about yourselves, when your parents said, try this, it's easier. And you're like, I'm not going to do that. Why in the world, as human beings, do we ever choose a higher path when someone's saying, here, this way's easier? I know it is. Remember what we're doing and why we're here is to find our own inner guidance, to find our own choices. So remember that we're not here to do it for them. Okay. We're here to believe in their own path. And even if that path is a mistake, that's why we're here. To trust our own inner guidance, to trust our own inner voice, because we're not always going to be there. And this is about reconnecting with our own selves. That is the biggest lesson that you can share with your kids. And as a parent, I can tell you that once I shifted that, and it is a daily struggle. My son drove himself to the beach and is surrounded by individuals in the state of COVID. And I am communicating with his soul, probably on a minute-to-minute basis. And, sending him, do this with me. Just send your kids the belief that they know best. I know when they're acting like insane that it's challenging to do that. It's challenging to send our kids that they know best. But if you could hold the energy and just share that with them, I'm telling you, it will make a big difference. Okay? All right. My teenage daughter has started having weird, scary dreams. Tina, I get this. I understand. Last night, she dreamed about a crow man and a bunch of crows in a tree. And she has said someone died in our house and it really scared her. Okay. So Tina, I do understand what your daughter is going through. I understand, how challenging it is as a sensitive individual. Our kids, really, really, when they were younger, especially, really sense spirit. And for them, it was incredibly scary and frightening. And they were, when you're frightened, think about, okay, Tina, think about, and anyone else who's having children that are sensing spirit or, have disturbing dreams, if I could tell you that there was a choice, that there was a lock, all right, that door could only open up if you, unlock that door. If I could tell you that you only communicate with spirit based on your own choice, and you could always just invite individuals that were here that felt good, that were for your highest good, that were going to give you beautiful, beautiful dreams, that were going to make your life better, that were just going to throw lollipops and candy your way, you wouldn't be so afraid of spirit, right? Well, connecting with spirit is something that a lot of us don't understand, right? How do I connect to spirit? How is it that they're perceiving, energy? And our human nature will go to fear first. For me, when I first started this journey, it was frightening and I didn't have anyone. And this is part of the reason that I am, doing this. I didn't have anyone to share, information with me. I didn't have anyone to guide me. I didn't have any tools on what to do. But if your daughter knows that she can connect to, and Archangel Michael is the angel of protection. First of all, she doesn't have to communicate with anyone for that matter. But if she wants to communicate with individuals, ask her to incorporate Archangel Michael. That should be the first thing that she does every night. And just say, okay, I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to stand at your door. And he is only going to allow individuals in here that are for your highest good. You can also do this for her, Tina, and anyone who is sensing, maybe their kids are having bad dreams or that kind of thing. Ask Archangel Michael to stand, at your kid's door and, imagine like a golden threshold there that they cannot cross. And that really, really makes the world of difference. And say, you know what? Invite, your grandmom into your dreams. Invite only, beautiful energy into your dreams. You do have a choice. When she's going to bed scared, okay, without any means to shift it for herself, it's only going to draw to her, vibrations that are, not dangerous, but maybe, don't feel as mushy and happy. Okay, so that's something that will really make a big difference. Okay, Tina, let me know how it goes. How can I help my son with his stomach issues? He is 7 years old.
When he goes to school, he has anxiety.
Okay, with anxiety. Okay. So, Virginia, again, especially for, our younger kids, they're at the age that they are still sensing, energies around them. Okay. So when your son goes into school, I want you to imagine that he's the sponge. So he's walking in from your house where it's safe, right? And the only thing that he is picking up in your house is love, support, love, support, love, support. And his sponge feels good. And then he gets to school. All right. And he is sensing, all right, his sponge is picking up on energies that, maybe this one doesn't like me. This teacher's disappointed in me. Maybe this teacher came to school with anxiety from their own house. So, okay, let me take that on. Oh, and this, this kid doesn't, like my sneakers. Let me take that on. And this one doesn't like this about me. Let me just, and by the time his day is done, think about what that does. Okay. So the other thing that I want to bring awareness to you is that when you have digestive issues that are related to anxiety, and I'm sure you've looked into it and all of that, when you have digestive issues, we have energy systems that give us, they're, very much like a thermostat or very much like a gauge on what's going on with our spirit. The stomach is directly connected to what's known as the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is tied to self-confidence. Okay. One of the things that he could do, or that you could do, because he's still young and he's going to let you, place your hands on his stomach right beneath his, his belly button. And, before he's going to sleep, just say, you know what? Mom's going to ask an angel to come through. And I'm going to give you this ball of power. Okay. And what you're going to be doing, Virginia, while you're helping him is you are going to ask for support. If you have a loved one who has passed, if you have an archangel that you resonate with, Blessed Mother, whatever it is that you want to incorporate, you're going to ask for assistance in balancing that center. Okay, for your son. So just imagine light pouring into that area. Okay. Yellow golden light pouring into his solar plexus. And what that's going to do is help him receive balance, because what I'm hearing is he had an incident, and your son is very sensitive. He had an incident. This incident did take place on the playground. I'm not sure if he shared it with you. I don't hear that it was, really an incident for you to be concerned about. But because your son reads energy so well, I feel that he feels that he's out of place. And that's causing a lot of doubt in his solar plexus area. So by creating that balance and giving him that power back, it's really going to help him feel his confidence. And that's something that I would do on a daily basis. And then again, check in with me and let me know how he's doing. And then we'll go from there to give you some more strategies. Okay. Oh, one more thing. I want you to really focus and bring his attention. And this is something that would be helpful for anyone at any age. Okay. Ask your kids, your teens, if you're watching on your own, what are you most proud of? What's the quality, the character that you would be most proud of? When we do that, when you say, I am, okay, and I'll start with me, I am most proud of my heart and my giving, nature. So that's definitely something that I believe, and it is definitely something that I'm really proud of. If I were to say, I am most proud of my mathematical ability, that would be something that would be an absolute lie. So I'm not most proud of that. If I were to say that I am most proud of, I don't know, that's pretty much it. Math is probably my, I'm controlling. Okay. I'm most proud of my flexibility. That is not a truth either. Why is it important that it be a compliment on your, a truth? If I were to ask you all, those of you that are watching, whatever you do right now, don't think about an elephant. Okay, well, elephants in your head, right? Everybody that's watching, your elephants in your head, right? So when you say a compliment to yourself that you do not believe, something that you wish you had more of, then what happens is you're actually drawing that more of the lack to you. So you want to really remember, this is about practice, guys, practicing techniques that are going to help you draw better things to you. So every day, some tips, some tools, every day, begin your day with a compliment that you believe. Okay. Begin your day with a compliment that you believe. So Virginia, I want you to ask your son, what are you most proud of? Okay. He's very loyal. Your son, very loyal. All right. So, but I want it to come from him, and every day ask him, what are you most proud of? And ideally, it wouldn't be based on an action. Why is that? Okay. Because if he helps somebody, let's say I was most proud that I helped somebody today. It's not about him. It's external. I want him to get used to seeing himself as the light being that he is. Okay. So that is something that would be really helpful. All right. Okay. My grandson, who is 5, has apraxia, which means he can't say his consonants. Will he ever be able to talk in full words? Okay, so Wanda, I do hear yes. I hear that he's working with a really great team. I do feel like that is something that will happen. Here's the important thing about this. I feel like he's going to go on to, really assist others in this journey. So really, I know it's worrisome and troubling when we see our, our kids or grandkids, and we worry for them, in this society. I want you all, I can't get past this image. I want you all to get used to the fact that we send our kids out into this world never alone. And I'll tell you, that is something that I myself literally at this very moment am shifting my awareness to. Our kids are never alone, meaning that they always have spirit guides with them. They always have angels with them. There is always this availability that they have. And if we could begin to teach them that, if we could begin to say, you know what, you have a superpower, you have this ability. So when you're worried about your grandson, being treated, with unkind words, I want you to imagine him with this superpower that he is always having love poured into his heart, that he is going to be okay. And I really do believe, as parents and, teachers or grandparents, those are you watching, and teens and kids, if we could just shift our knowing to knowing that you're never alone, and that you always have someone there that you can, assist for help, call upon. A really, really big thing about that, though. Okay. For those of you out there that pray, or for those of you that are kids and teens and say, you know what, I ask for help all the time and they don't help. So you do feel alone. And so I get that. When you ask for help and you are parents, and you're praying to your parents, and you're saying, you know what, they're not listening. They're not helping my kids, and my kids are suffering, and no one's listening. You need to remember that magnet thing that we talked about in the beginning. Okay. We have to, in order to receive help, and help is guidance. So if you're struggling with something, and your kids, or those of you that are watching, if you're struggling with anxiety or getting that guidance, what you have to remember is that you have to learn how to elevate your vibration, right? So in order to do that, you're going to start small. You're going to really, really focus on your compliments that you believe. You're going to, throughout the day, say, you know what? And for those of the kids that are young, get them to focus on what was your best moment today? What are you most grateful for? What happened today that was, really, really, fabulous, that you were really excited for? Now, they may come back to you, especially if they're in a bad mood, and say nothing. I didn't have anything that was grateful. So all you can do at that moment is assist them, if they're willing, in finding a thought that's a little bit higher. That way, when you are feeling low, when you are feeling depressed, when you are feeling anxious, if you could just remember that all you have to do is reach for a little bit better of a feeling thought. Okay? And sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you can't reach for that higher feeling thought. I myself, we were out and about this past weekend, and I have to say it was a little unnerving for me. And I was, surrounded by individuals who were not practicing safe, COVID practices. And as an empath, that was something that caused me a lot of anxiety and, to be honest, depression, because it just made me realize how, we are so not back to normal. And for those of you watching, I know, as people that are sensitive, it's really a struggle to keep going in this way. So what I did was, I didn't focus on, okay, well, it's better, because intuitively I know what's coming. So I wasn't able to lock into that. I searched for things that typically bring me joy, which is, for me, reading or music or meditating. And so, get used to communicating with your kids. Let's have a toolbox here. And in our toolbox, we're going to put things in it, in our box, that make us feel better. So, when we're not feeling good, or when we're feeling anxious, we can reach for something. So have a playlist ready, have, songs that are ready that make them feel better, or have like a silly picture, and get creative with it, create a joy box, that they can go into, on things that, maybe you wrap a present, that is like something little that will make them smile. And when they're having those moments, and you start with reaching for the higher feeling thoughts. And if they are so, distraught that they can't get themselves out of it, then you have this tool. You have this box available, and say, okay, well, let's look through this and see what we can find that will elevate our feeling a little bit better. Remember that it's never about stopping the emotion. It's always going to be about honoring the emotion, releasing it, and then reaching for something higher. Okay? All right. Okay. Freddie said he sees a man in the hallway some months ago, but has not told me nothing since. Did he imagine this? Absolutely not, Davina. I do feel like your child is very, very sensitive. I'll tell you right now, all kids see spirits, period. They all do. Whether they articulate that or not, typically that stops around the age of 7, but not always. It can go farther. But they just, it's just part of their innate ability. Excuse me. So when they do see, spirit, the important thing is just to, don't push it. I would absolutely, for any parent, grandparent, kid, teen watching that feels spirit, it's going to be really important that your intention is clear. Meaning, Davina, you would want to connect with Archangel Michael and say, Archangel Michael, just surround our house with light and love so that my kids only sense individuals that are here for our highest good. Okay. And that's something that will be, really, really helpful. Victoria, my daughter is 7, said she can see my uncle. She has a special gift, I believe. Yes, absolutely, Victoria. Again, keep encouraging it if it's something that she feels good about. And again, really, really, I encourage you all as parents to just, develop that relationship with Archangel Michael and really just encourage him to surround your home and your family with light and love so that experience is always a good one. Okay. You don't want our kids to be frightened by anything, meaning I call them like menacing, like little jokesters. So there will be individuals that, possibly, like to play jokes when they were here, or maybe have some things that they're, still evolving or learning. Sometimes there are individuals who are, not fully released as far as that what their physical body have to learn in this earth. And so that's who you're going to be sensing as far as like a lower vibration. There really is no such thing as evil when we pass. Our soul is always perfect and pure. So I don't want anyone to feel that way. Okay. There was a question there that I lost. Oh, okay. There we go. My Dominic, 11 years old, strives to perfection. I feel it's my fault because that's how I was and am. So Angelina, that is a great question. So I think it's really, really important that he understands that you're not here on earth to be perfect. And that, it's part of the experience is through learning. And if everything that you do on earth is, has to be perfect, then what ends up happening is you have taken some of that joy out in the expression of learning and the lightness, right? So if that's how you are, I would begin with you. And begin with, I do feel like this is something that you yourself had to deal with, as a young person and, giving those impressions. So go back to you and realize that you are enough. A really big thing to bring into your awareness is, why? What is it that tells us that perfection is, doing things in a certain way? Remember that our reality has been created, by a society that is based largely on a room full of people who are saying, okay, this is this is correct. Okay. This is beautiful, this is this way. And, for our kids with media and, always, on the phones and, searching in this way, they're told, this is what is either cool or this is what is expected of an individual who is a high achiever. And it's going to be important for you to go back to, okay, what happened with me and really, really work on being enough. And the only way to do that is really by expressing, what are you most proud of? And again, not based on your actions, your qualities. Okay. Get in touch with your heart. All right. Let us know how he's doing and yourself as well. Okay. All right, guys. So, this was just a little bit of a touch of, some information that I wanted to bring to you. I just want to summarize, whether you're teens or not, or kids, best thing that you could do is to talk to your kids and really, really get them to express what they are most proud of. Again, that's going to get them used to, really, really honoring themselves, not based on an action, but honoring themselves based on who they are. Then when they are experiencing anxiety, if they are comfortable with discussing it, remember to use that toolbox, or remember to reach for a higher feeling thought. Okay, I understand that you're anxious at this moment, or I understand that you're depressed. Let's see if we can find something about what are we learning in this experience? What are we learning? Is there something that we've learned for the next time so that maybe we can, feel a little better the next time this occurs? If they're not comfortable in communicating, then you can absolutely call upon, higher energies, higher vibration, and communicate to their soul. And remember to hold that energy of them being happy in your awareness. Last thing I want you guys to remember is that, when we send our kids out into, this world that is frightening for, a lot of us, especially, sensitive parents. Remember, they are never alone, and you can absolutely set that intention and communicate with your kids. You know what? Your grandmother has passed, and, she's there. If you need assistance, know that you always have someone with you. Remember not to try to encourage them not to please help. Try to encourage them to first elevate their vibration, then ask for guidance. Okay. Remember to reach out to Michael to join our new Facebook group, Kids and Teens. So it will be One Heart, One Soul, Kids and Teens Facebook group. Let us know how you're doing. Post some strategies that have been working for you. And, we will be doing this again, but also, reach out to us. Let us know if this was something that was helpful. Let us know if there's something more, and then based on your responses, I'll be back. Some other things that I want to talk to you guys about are, how can you manifest your own dreams, your kids, you yourself? What can you do to draw good things and good people to you? How to shift that vibration. So next time we'll do that. Also, how to deal with grief, how to deal with those emotions. And then also, teaching your kids and teens how to connect with spirit in a comfortable way. And then also learning how to not, be that sponge and absorb all that energy. Okay. It was really, really my honor connecting with you all. I thank you so, so much for joining me. And I wish you a beautiful day. And, come back and see us. All right. Much love and light.